At Amon Sul, also known as Weathertop, Frodo and company are encountered by 9 Nazgul. Frodo is then stabbed by a Morgul blade by their leader, the Witch King of Angmar. Suddenly, Arwen appears to save Frodo and takes him to Rivendell. At least, that is how it played out in the movie. In the book, it was a little different. It was not Arwen. And if it wasn't her, then who was it? And why did they replace them with her? In Fellowship, the elf that was sent by Elrond to rescue Frodo was an elf by the name of Glorfindel. Glorfindel was born during the Years of the Trees, and played a very prominent role throughout the First and Second Ages, especially during the fall of Gondolin, which we'll cover in another video. Now, why this was changed in the film was for a few reasons. Firstly, though he played quite a significant part in The War of the Ring, and was still present in the movies as a background character, Peter Jackson and his team did not feel like he was as important as some of the other characters who deserved more screen time. If they had kept it the way it was, it may need to provide more context and backstory into his character that was explored in the Silmarillion, and they would have to develop his character quite far in this trilogy, which might outshine the other elven characters like Legolas and Arwen. And in any film, it is not a good idea to add that many characters if there is not any planned material created to expand on them. He was essentially overall unimportant to the main story of The Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship themselves. It is a bit like the decision to exorcise Tom Bombadil entirely from the film. However, if this was a television series instead, then maybe it would make sense to keep things the way they are, as there is more room for exploration. Now, the decision to choose which elf to replace him came down to this. In the animated Lord of the Rings from 1978 by Ralph Bakshi, which I'm sure if you've seen my channel often enough you'll surely recognize, it is Legolas that takes Frodo with him. But in the live-action adaptation, Arwen was chosen in order to further develop her character instead of just being Aragorn's love interest, which is very clear according to an article from December 2002 by New York Daily News. The screenwriter Philippa Boyens said, "Arwen is a vital part of Aragorn's story, and we tried many permutations of how to bring her into it more, drawing a lot on Luthien and Beren, the elf and the mortal man whose tragic love is a prototype for that of Aragorn and Arwen. But as the stories come on, and Liv has so beautifully inhabited Arwen, she has found her own level." Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, remember to subscribe, light the beacons on your way out, and until our next meeting, I bid you farewell.